Hey guys, welcome to your reading lesson for the day. Alright, I know that we've done a lot today. We really have. We've had a lot of different lessons. And this is the last one. And it's not going to be a bad one. But it's something we definitely need to know about. So today's lesson, the last lesson we're going to do, is about something called text features. And text features are just things that are only in non-fiction books. Now, what were non-fiction books? Yes, a non-fiction book means that it is real, it's not made up, it's a true story. So you're only going to find these text features in true books. We haven't seen any of these text features in Big Red Lollipop because it wasn't a non-fiction story. We didn't see any of these text features in Help because it wasn't a non-fiction story. But we do have some of these text features in Families Working Together, and we're going to find some of them tomorrow. But let's figure out what a text feature is. And you know what? I bet you have read some true stories before, and you've probably seen some of these text features, and you didn't even know that's what they were. So let's go ahead and look at some of those and learn what they are. All right, the first one is going to be a heading. And I've got 3 pages of books here. And every one of these pages has a heading. A heading is something that's at the top of the page, like your head is at the top of your body. A heading is at the top of a page. It's usually bigger. It's usually a different color or like a different font, which means the letters look different. And it usually, do you see those headings on that? Do you see any headings? Yeah, here's the heading on this page. It's at the top, and it's big and blue. Here's the heading here. It's at the top, and it's not really big, but it's definitely a different color, which shows you that, hey, this must be important. And then there's the heading for those 2 pages, and it's definitely much larger, and it's red. And it's at the top, just like a heading is going to be. Headings will usually tell you what it's going to be about. That's the whole point of putting a heading there. A title is kind of like a heading too, because a title is usually at the top of the story, and it tells you what it's going to be about. Well, that's what a heading is. So like this part that says Meet a Librarian, that tells you that this whole page is going to be about librarians. And this part right here that says feeders, that tells you that this whole page is going to be about animals that feed the other animals. Like it's talking about the meerkats feeding the babies. They're the feeders. And then this part says Meet the Birds, and that means that this whole part is going to be about meeting the birds. You're going to meet the other birds. All right, so those are the headings. So they're at the top. They're different colors usually, or different font, which means the letters look different, and they will tell you what the part is going to be about. It's like a clue. All right, so those are those text features. Let's look at the next kind of text feature. So we know there's headings, and I'll go ahead and tell you that there are headings in your story this week in Families Working Together. There are headings. Oh, the next kind of text feature is bold print. Bold print, I'm going to show you 3 pages, and we're going to see if we can find the bold print. Oh, you see, I even gave you the same page as last time, that Meet a Librarian page. All right, let me tell you what bold print is, and you see if you can find some on these pages. Bold print is when they make the letters bold or really, really dark. Can you see some words that are really, really dark on these pages? Yes, there's a word that's in bold print. It's really, really dark. There's some bold print. Even this stuff is bold print. That's bold print. It's darker than the rest. There's a word right there that's in bold print. Why do you think they make some of the words on the page bold? Good. They make the words bold or dark to show you that, hey, these are important words that you need to know. So they're trying to say that the word pilots is an important word. They want you to know what it means in this story that you're reading. Over here, this is the word migrate. And they want you to know that, hey, migrate is an important word. And they're also showing you that these things are important, that you need to read them. And then over here, the word information is an important word. They want you to remember it and know it. That's why they have bold print. And there is some bold print in our story. It's kind of hard to tell that it's bold print because it's the vocabulary words. And they're bold and they are highlighted yellow. So anything bold printed or highlighted means it's important. Like on your schedule, when I post the schedule every day, I always highlight the times. That way I'm telling you, hey, this time is really important. So that's why they put things that are in bold print or highlight. It's just saying, hey, this is important. You need to know it. Good. All right, so let's look at another text feature that they might have. So we've done headings. We've done bold print. Oh, some stories, some nonfiction stories will have captions. Let's look at 3 pages and I'll show you the captions, or what a caption is. All right, so captions. Captions are words on a picture. Because, nonfiction stories, they have real pictures in them, don't they? Yes, they have real photographs, real pictures. And if you see some words on a picture, those are captions, and it's telling you, hey, this is what's happening in the picture. So in this picture, it says this shows a snowstorm in New York City. So it's saying, hey, that's what this picture is. It's a snowstorm. And then these captions are saying, hey, this is a warbler. Those are the names of the birds. And that's a duck. That's the name of that bird. And that's a toucan. That's the name of that bird. And that's a parrot. That's the name of the bird. And then here's a caption on that picture. And it just says, a female feeds young meerkats. You see the mama, and she's feeding her babies. It's telling you that's what's happening. So captions are just on photographs, and it tells you, hey, this is what's happening in the photograph. I didn't notice any captions in our story this week. I know we had real photographs, but I didn't notice any sentences or words wrote on the picture to tell you that's what it was. So if it's a caption, it's going to be wrote either right on the picture or right below the picture, and it will just tell you what's happening. I didn't notice any captions, but when we look tomorrow, we'll just make sure if there's any captions in our story. But I know these books right here have captions. Have you ever read a book before and you've seen real pictures and there was words on the picture? Yeah, those are captions. Do you think you need to read the captions? Yes, it's part of the story, and you need to read them. Don't just read the words down here. You need to read the captions too. That will help you understand what's happening and the things about the story. I've had kids before in my class, they didn't read the captions, and then maybe when they went to go take an AR test on the story, it asked a question about the caption and they didn't read it. Captions are part of the story. You need to read them, okay? Okay. All right, and then there is one more text feature that we're going to look at. Whoa, what did I do? Hold on, guys. I think I accidentally made it big. Let me fix that. Oh, there we go. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure how I did that. Okay, let's try. Let's go to the next one. All right, the next text feature are charts and maps. And some nonfiction stories or true stories will have charts and maps in them or on their pages. Let's look at a few pages that have charts and maps. All right, so you will notice in this one right here they have a chart. And it's just telling you, because this book was about animals that could go really fast, so it's telling you some information about people and how fast they can go, and cheetahs and how fast they can go, and peregrine falcons and how fast they can go. And you can look at that chart and you could find out pretty fast what is the fastest thing. Yeah, so charts are part of the story too. If you see a chart, you need to read it because it's part of the story. It's got important stuff. This is a different kind of chart. It's called a pie chart because it kind of looks like a pie, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, it's a pie chart. And this was a book about fish. And it's just telling you that just this teeny little part of the world is land and the rest of the world is water. Look at how much water's on the earth and how much land. Yeah, so this chart is just giving you some more information. It's saying, hey, it's wanting to tell you some more things about the story. And then sometimes you'll see a map in a nonfiction story. Do you think you need to look at the map? Yes, of course you do. You need to look at that map. This book was about insects, and it's telling you that insects live on every continent. Even in Antarctica. I know a lot of people think they don't live in Antarctica, it's too cold. But they do. This book says they live on all of these. So it's showing you the whole world and telling you that insects live everywhere. And these are just charts and maps. I think there might even be one more chart or map that I think I may have forgot to show. Let's see. Yep, there's a map. This map was about this book was about Washington, D.C., and this is just a map that shows you where everything's at. Like if you want to go to the White House, it's right there. But if you want to go over here, this is called the Washington Monument. If you want to walk to the Washington Monument, it kind of tells you, what roads you could take to get there. So you could see it. So it's a map that just shows you where everything's at. And that book tells you that. So is it important to look at charts and maps in a nonfiction story? It is, because it's telling you things about the story, so you need to read those too. And they're not going to be in fiction stories or fantasy stories, but they will be in non-fiction stories. There are a few other text features that we will talk about when we come back after fall break. Because our story next week is also a non-fiction story. It's a true story. And we're going to talk about text features again then. But these are just a few that I wanted to go over, and I know most of these are in the story. So tomorrow when we have our lesson, we're actually going to be looking at our book and finding these things in the story, okay? Okay, maybe you can look and see if you can find a heading, and I'm going to go back over just real quick. Show you real quick once more what all these are. I'm going to have to click. There we go. Remember, charts and maps. It's going to go one at a time. We have captions. Remember, a caption is when it's on the photograph. When you see a photo or a picture and there's words on it, that's called a caption. And the words just tell you what's happening in the picture or what the picture is about. Got to go back one at a time. Oh, bold print. Remember, bold print is the dark words. And those dark words are just important words that they want you to know for the story. So anytime you see dark words, that's called bold print. It's just saying, hey, these words are important. Sometimes bold print is also highlighted, like in our story. And then the first one was headings. And remember, a heading are just those big words at the top. Usually they're a different color. And it's just saying, hey, this is what this part's going to be about. That's all a heading is. So I bet you can find some of those text features in your reading story this week. And we'll look tomorrow and find them and talk about them again, okay? All right. Bye, guys.